We are outside of Chicago, about 100 miles or so, 125 miles maybe. We're going to blow through Chicago, get on the other side of that mess, and then see where we are. It's 65 degrees, 6:15 in the morning. I feel like I could have used another 3, 4, 7 hours of sleep. Bang, that big black cup of coffee won't fix. All right, then. This is the Chicago Loop. Chicago's actually a pretty cool town. Welcome to Indiana. Well, there's some Indianapolis skyline. We're about ready to get on I-70 East. It's good night time. We're somewhere in Ohio. Boy, do we have a story to tell about Gypie, about a big old Brahman bull. But I'm gonna wait till tomorrow to tell it. We're tired. It's late. Good night.
So I stop at this gas station in Gratis, Ohio. Little town. Get fuel. Go inside to ask the guy where I might find a park or something where I can run Gypie. Well, there's a guy standing there. Big fella. Big farmer fella. Standing at the counter getting a couple of beers. And he goes, "Bill, I got 100 acres right around the corner. Bring her out there." I said, "Okay." He said, "Follow me." Guy's got a nice little farm. Critters everywhere. Gypie's a little freaked out. We get her inside the gate. Well, his two dogs go after Gypie. We had to get that straightened out. Got through another gate. A couple horses in there. They weren't real happy with Gypie, but she stays clear of anything that's not running. If it ain't running away from her, she's trying to get away from it. So he's got, I don't know, a dozen small horses, donkey. So Paul is his name. We talk and chat, stand there at the gate, looking at these horses. And he goes, "Well, let's go down below. We'll go into another pasture." He goes, "I got a blind horse down there, some cows." It's all right. So by this time, Belle is staying as far away from me and this guy as possible. But she follows us down into this pasture, probably 5-10 acre pasture. On a hill, can't see it. We had to walk down. When we start walking down in there, well, there's some shade trees down there, and there must be, I don't know, half dozen pair and a bull and a couple of horses. And Paul goes, "Hey, George, come here, George." Well, this big fucking Brahmin bull stands up with horns out to here and starts walking towards us. And I say, "Paul, I'm not accustomed to walking towards a fully intact bull named George." He goes, "That's good policy. That's good policy. Come here, George." So I stop. He walks up to George, starts petting old George, hugging on him. I'm standing there in a pasture full of bullshit. Gypie, by now, is way on the other side of the pasture. She wants nothing to do with this nonsense. So he was done petting old George, and now I'm probably 8 foot away from George. George takes a couple of steps towards me, and I said, "Well, I guess I'm gonna rub on him." And Paul says, "Well, we'll see how that goes." I'm telling you what, I was a little nervous. But George was as gentle, and I just kept all the flies away from his eyes and was scratching on his forehead. Well, we talked for a while, petting old George. And then Gypie was so far away, I had to go find her. She was way on the other side of the pasture, hiding. Well, this horse, there's two of them. A big one and kind of like a miniature horse that I guess was blind. Well, this bigger horse, it's tracking on Gypie. And Gypie's trying to get the fuck away from this horse. And they're maybe 50 yards apart, but you can see the horse is trying to cut her off, kind of, just walking, just stalking Gypie. Gypie had enough. She got out of that pasture the way we came, got into another pasture with a couple other horses that didn't pay her any attention. But Paul and I laughed, shook hands, and I thanked him. But that was about as much entertainment as Gypie could handle in one day. But it was fun. Damn, I wish I had my camera for that damn bull. I can't believe I stood next to it. This bull had to weigh. It was as big as this truck. I mean, it's a big bull. It seemed ridiculous to be standing there and scratching its head. George was, I think he said, 7 years old. And he said he sired all the calves out there were George's. Hello, Pennsylvania. Well, we're on the New York Thruway, Pembroke Service Center. In general, I don't like New York, but I do kind of like this part of New York. I guess when I say I don't like New York, I think New York City's rather repulsive. Just due to all the humanity. If there was no humanity there and it was a museum of architecture and cultural significance, that'd be cool. No, it's all the raw humanity there that might make it suck. I don't know. I think I'm in a mood. Alright. Well, along the New York Thruway, which explains why it's so damn loud, this is one of the locks in the system of the Erie Canal. Pretty cool. Erie Canal was a big deal back in the day, I reckon. It's how they moved product from, I think it went from Lake Erie to the Hudson River, maybe? Is that right? I have no idea. Maybe we'll find a sign that'll tell us. I mean, this is just infrastructure that has no real value anymore. I guess it's interesting, but not very. But it's a beautiful area of the country. The Green Mountains of Vermont. Oh, that's right. Welcome to New Hampshire. Cool. We're about an hour and a half away from the house. Gosh, it's so green here. When we left a couple of months ago, it was cold. It was still frosty in the morning. The daffodils had just started to, the green tips up in the raised beds had just started to pop up. Now it's just so green. Gosh, I'm looking forward to getting on the ATV and taking Gypie for a run. She's gonna love that. Belle likes to lay up on top of the Dometic. She stays fairly secure because her feet are actually standing up in the bed of the truck. I think she knows we're going home.
And home from the trip. Coco, come. 2 months.
But look at this trash dump. It's all steel, so it's old. This has to have been here for generations. Oh, today at this Mississippi River headwaters, you got a nice little bag of trash. Got a nice little bag here. Stopped over to let Belle do her business. Not a lot today, early in the morning, but a little. We just have one bag today. When out picking up litter today, I found, this is what I call legacy litter. You gotta be a certain age to know about what a church key is and what they're used for. Oh yeah, the BLM land, the BLM campground on Silver Creek. Now, we did a lot of hiking, so we found a lot of stuff, but we got 4 bags on this 3-night, let's see, Wednesday, Thursday, yeah, this 3-night stay. Not bad. I'm sorry, folks, but it's litter. It's going in the river. Well, today's litter find of the day is someone had a little trouble with their cell phone and decided to end its life with about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, looks like 9mm. Can't quite tell. need to start at dumbass things I did. So far, the dumbass things I've did. I've lost a set of keys. Fortunately, got an extra set. But 5 days in, I lost a set of keys. I left them on the wheel well of Morty, the teardrop trailer. That was one dumbass thing I did. I can't remember the others. The key to the water replacement fill tube. I didn't have a replacement key. I'm now using a screwdriver to open it up. Fortunately, it'll be easy enough to replace, but still, I'm a dumbass. Another dumbass thing I did, I was cooking Gypie's breakfast. She likes to have a pound of hamburger for breakfast. I was done. I set the skillet in a bank of snow to cool off, and I closed the back of the trailer, and the flame was still on this. The flame was still on. Was still turned on. So the next morning when I got up and I opened the back, I could smell just a hint of propane. And I looked at the burner and it was turned on all the way. No flame, of course. And I thought, that motherfucker, it burned all night long. I could have burned the trailer down. I could have killed the both of us. Well, so while I was driving that day, I knew I had to stop somewhere and get propane, and I found a little place, little old rundown, old-timey gas station looking place. 4 guys sitting in there drinking coffee when I walked in. I said, yeah, he'd come out and give me some propane. I told him it'd take me a minute to get it loose, but I got it loose. Seemed awful heavy. I mean, I know what propane feels like because we use so much of it. But he put it on the scale and he goes, well, this is full. And I said, are you sure? And he goes, yeah, I'm sure. It's 35 pounds. It's completely full. It was the first time that I had used it. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm looking for a gas station. In this little town of Hingham, Montana, ain't got one. So I said, all right. So I installed it back again, and I looked at the trailer door that covers the kitchen. It has an automatic switch. It's already anticipated knuckleheads like me. Some knucklehead burning his trailer down. First time he used his propane stove. And it had an automatic kill switch on the propane. Alright. That's one more dumbass thing I've done. Day 32. Put it in the I'm a dumbass folder. Yesterday's meal was awesome. We made mac and cheese, put in some Romano cheese. I had to use some sour whipping cream for the milk. That didn't turn out all that great. But I fried up a beef Polska kielbasa. Oh, it was delicious. The macaroni and cheese wasn't very good, but I had a couple of big old spoonfuls. Gypie ate the rest. She loved it. She loved the half of the Polska kielbasa that I gave her too. Oh yeah, we had a big feed. Well, about 3 o'clock this morning, Gypie gets up, walks over to the door, and barfs 2 dinner plate size piles of puke on the carpet right next to the door. Now this is a teardrop camper, so the door is only about 18 inches from my head. That was at, I think, 3:05. I had to deal with that because I'm a dumbass. Yeah. I do have a I'm a dumbass moment today. I hooked up the trailer at the, that's Morty, the teardrop trailer. I hooked up Morty at the No-Tell Motel and went and got coffee, went to go get on the highway, and every time I accelerated or braked, I heard the bang. The classic trailer hitting the ball bang. I thought, well, that's not right. So I pulled over right before I got on I-70 East, and sure enough, this is one of those ball that you lift it up to release it and lift it down to connect it, and it wasn't lifted down. I don't know if it jumped out. It didn't. I fucked up. I didn't engage it, and I locked it there. I locked it disengaged. Now, it was clear that that was the case, and I wouldn't have gone another mile without it. But it's a dumbass moment. I can be a dumbass. All right, so my dumbass act of the day. I came out of the grocery store. I had a couple of hunters next to me. They were fixing sandwiches in the bed of their truck. They were a little close, but I could get the doors open to get into the freezer, and I was putting stuff away. And as I was putting stuff away, my sunglasses that were hooked into my shirt fell to the ground. And I said to myself, don't forget to pick those up. Put everything away, scrunched up the bags, asked the hunters next door if they needed any bags. They said no. And I walked to the back to put the bags away. I left those sunglasses sitting on the blacktop in Safeway's parking lot. I am a dumbass. Now, knowing that I'm a dumbass, and I do know that I'm a dumbass, I brought 4 pair of sunglasses. So I'm okay. I may be okay, but I'm still a dumbass. Well, so that's it, folks. The 2024 North American adventure is over. We've arrived home. We had a wonderful time. It was an awfully long 2 months trip. I think the next trip I want to restrict to 6 weeks. 8.5 weeks is a lot. But it was a wonderful trip with very few exceptions. It was as perfect as it could be. Our preparation, I think, was really good. I, of course, bought stuff that I shouldn't have, didn't need, won't ever use, and need to sell. That's a fact. Bought some other things that were really awesome. The two that come to mind, which, hey, it's just the reality, are dude wipes and a place to pee if you can't step outside. All right. Well, if you enjoyed these, I'm glad. If you didn't, well, I'm not sad. Bye now.